Transformers 1 is a prequel story, a completely animated film of Transformers. It is directed by Josh Cooley, who is a very divisive director because he did Toy Story 4, which is a favorite of mine. I love Toy Story 4. I thought it was a great send-off for the character of Woody, but a lot of people didn't like Toy Story 4. I don't know why, just because people thought the third movie had the perfect ending, but I feel 4 is a solid film in its own, very strong. I didn't know Josh Cooley directed this movie, but I heard really good things about this film. It's got a solid... at the time of this review, it's got an 89% certified fresh. And so we're following Orion Pax, a blue and red mining robot, and his buddy, his best friend, D-16. The two of them are mining bots. They don't have transformer chips, so they can't transform. They are smaller and weaker and are used as energon miners because they live in this big city, and they only have one path. They have to go to work and do dangerous mining stuff. Energon is their fuel source, their food basically, and an opening sequence explains all the lore. Essentially, the planet of Cybertron that they live on is actually a being that turned itself into a planet and created the primes. They are protectors of Cybertron. However, they're all dead, and there's only one prime left, Sentinel Prime. He's like their messiah leader of sorts, and he's looking for the energy matrix. And then he can find that, then they don't have to mine anymore. So they're basically blue collar, and there's lots of big action, world building in this story, lots of lore. The only couple digs I have with the movie is the movie's a little bit too jokey at times. So instead of feeling like an epic science fiction adventure, sometimes it feels really kiddish because characters will slip on a banana peel or the equivalent and have a lot of jokes that don't land all the time. But the main character development is between Orion and D-16 as they go on this sort of larger-than-life adventure scavenger hunt for the energy matrix. When they find a map, team up with some new people. There's a Bee, Bumblebee. Obviously, he's very chatty and eccentric, and then there's also this other character that joins them later. The movie has lots of bright colors and direction, but sometimes I couldn't absorb everything. There's like this race scene that's really frenetic. It's pretty like edited really weird, really flashy. So same with some of the action sequences later. Sometimes the action will start up and then it'll cut to black, or there'll just be like a montage of sorts, and it just doesn't feel like there's some choreography till the end because there's just a lot of shapes, ramming at each other. And that's because, the characters are obviously all robots. It's hard to direct, but I just had a problem with that. But the story was good. The characters were great. I liked how it's completely different. I understand why this movie underperformed at the box office. It's because it has nothing to do with any of the live action films. And this is like its own thing, trying to jumpstart an old franchise into a new universe. I think a lot of people like the grounded touch of the Transformers being on Earth. Rise of the Beast did okay, and Bumblebee was great, probably the best one. But I guess they just didn't want to sort of do the entire movie like the beginning of Bumblebee because it would cost too much. But people, they like the original voices, they like the original designs, and showing prequel stuff is okay. But I guess the marketing was pretty awful for this film. I didn't even get to see a trailer for this in theaters. It never played. Paramount just dropped the ball with the marketing for sure, because this is a pretty decent. So Transformers 1, it's pretty good all around. The only thing I didn't like was a little bit kiddish and frenetic for me, but still enjoyable. And I give Transformers 1 a 6.5 out of 10.